Hey, bless up, fam. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all is going well. Hope life is treating you well. I see we got some tea. Come on, let's come in and put some teas in the chat. Put some teas in the chat. How y'all doing today? Hope everything is well. Hope everything is going well in your life. As we get ready for another day, get ready for another week. It's a blessing to be here, y'all. No matter what your circumstances, no matter what you're going through, no matter what life has dealt you with, it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be amongst the living in spite of. The reason why it's a blessing to be amongst the living is because we have an opportunity to do the will of the Father. A lot of times it's not about what we want, what we think we need, what we feel like we should get in life, but it's about doing the will of the Father at the end of the day. How y'all doing? If y'all can hear me, give me some thumbs up. 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 If you can hear me, see me, please give me some thumbs up. That'll give me confirmation and let me know that you can hear me and see me. It's been a minute. Been a minute since we're going live. But I appreciate y'all. What's up, Vision? What's going on? Family man, what's going on? Gigi, how you doing, my beautiful queen? How you feeling? Oh, Dana Springs, what's going on? Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. I'm glad y'all here. Put some T's in the chat. We put T's in the chat if you're thankful for life, you're thankful that you are able to hear, able to see, able to do whatever you're doing right about now. You know, I'm hoping that life is good for you all. I'm hoping that everything's good. I'm hoping that life brings you wellness, life brings you joy. We got Vision put some super T's in the chat. I see you, Vision. I see old got the T's in the chat. Thank you for putting some T's in the chat. Yes. Laurel, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Bless up, bless up, bless up. What's going on? Everybody's saying hello. So look, I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to waste no time. I'm going to jump right on in here because we got a lot to play. We got a lot of people that play the replay. And for those of you all that play the replay, thank you for coming in. Thank you for just listening. It's a blessing, you know. It's a blessing to just have a place where you can share not only positivity, but also share some insights and some things that you may be able to help some people with. And I'm just praying today that this live will help somebody. As we all know, there's a lot of different storms. There's a lot of different things that's going on. We get a lot of distractions in life. A lot of the news feeds got nothing but, like, when you look at the news feed, sometimes, I don't know about your news feed, but when I look at my news feed, I see more negativity than I see positivity. We survived the storm, this recent hurricane. We're getting ready to prep for another hurricane. But this, we should not be like wild and amazed. We should understand that this is a part of life. And this is a part of the time. As you all know, y'all know I love wildlife, Serengeti, Florida wildlife. I love Georgia. I love the world wildlife. I love watching wildlife videos. And one thing about wildlife, you have the focal point of the video, and there could be multiple focal points. Like, they'll watch an insect, a reptile, a mammal. They'll watch a different, whatever the subject matter may be. One thing in every storyline you'll find a good time and you'll find a bad time. But some of the most amazing storylines are when you find when the good time meets the bad time, and that subject overcomes the bad time. Fam, I've lived for the majority of my adult life in the state of Florida. And we are watching some times where it used to be, I don't want to move to Florida because of the hurricanes. But now we're witnessing a time where in the great United States of America, where there's news about asteroids, there's news about earthquake faults, there's news about tornadoes, flooding, all kinds of different storms. And it's starting to become a way of life. And for many people who have not encountered a lot of catastrophic storms or catastrophic events, and we used to call them natural events. I don't call them natural events anymore because for whatever reason, I don't call them natural events anymore. But they're starting to become a certain point in time where we got to understand and we got to realize that we're going to have to deal with them. It's got to become a way of life. You know, living in the beautiful state of Florida, no matter what nobody says, no matter what nobody believes, ever since I was a child, when I moved to the States as a child, one of the first states I lived in was Florida. My father family was from Florida. Not originally, you know, they came by way of the Bahamas, but it's something about that Atlantic/Gulf feel. We have said in the state of Florida that we have more good days than we have bad days. But now we witnessing people in the interior states. It used to be just mainly if your state touches a body of water, you can expect some storms or what have you. But now we are experiencing where people who have had over 100 years of no catastrophic storms, 100+ years, now they're encountering things. There's records that have been pulled up that no one has ever talked about. And the purpose of this live is let's talk about the healing process. Let's talk about after the storm. What do we do? I have seen times where close family members have lost their life after the storm. Close family members has lost everything after the storm. We have been impacted multiple years after the storm. We have been lacking resources, things we worked so many years for, things we poured so much blood, sweat, and equity into and lost them within just it seems like a short period of time. And no matter how much good you've done, no matter how much right you've done, it leaves you in a point sometimes where you question, why me? Why did this have to happen to me? Sometimes in life, things happen to us, not based on our understanding, not based on what we've done, but based on we just here in this earth living. And as I mentioned before, we've seen nature where we watch this happy natural family in the Serengeti or in the woods or in the swamps or whatever. They live in their life. They live in their best life. It could be a beaver, could be a warthog, could be an antelope, could be a lion or whatever. And we watch destruction all of a sudden within a matter of minutes or seconds change the whole trajectory of that family's life. The good book has shared so many stories of people being successful, being great and honored and put on a pedestal throughout the book of life. And then we watch things come and crumble and come to an end. But then we also heard stories where some of those situations, people prospered after the ashes. We also witnessed where people succumb to those challenges. My question to you is, you may not be affected by the storm. You might not have been impacted by the storm, but as long as you have breath in your life, you will encounter a storm. It may not necessarily be a tornado, it may not necessarily be a tropical depression or what have you, but long as you live on this earth, you will encounter a storm. And the question is, what do you do after the storm? What do we do after the storm? Those of us who have encountered storms and multiple storms and that are still here, that are still standing or sitting, because sometimes you have to just roll over. When you've been knocked down, sometimes you just have to roll over and sit up. But the key is up, upward motion. Because, fam, I want to express to you more and more and more that we work every single day tirelessly for this stuff. No matter what you're doing, if you go to a job, you're working, understand that it's just stuff. When you wash your car, understand it's going to get dirty. When you install a new toilet, understand it's going to get dirty. When you clean a baby, understand it's going to get dirty. When you put your shoes on, understand it's going to get dirty. Let us not put our hearts and our mind and our soul so much into stuff. Let us not feel like we're living through stuff, but understand things come and things go. No matter what's in our news, no matter what's going on in our hearts and our minds, understand that things will come and things will go. But that has nothing to do with you as an individual. You were put here for a reason. You have weathered the storm for a reason. You have survived the storm for a reason. And it has nothing to do with stuff. Stuff is a tool. It can be. It's almost like, imagine if you just sprinkled some salt in your hand and you just licked it. Or if you're not a salt person, imagine you sprinkled some sugar and you licked it. That salt or that sugar lasted only for a brief period of time. So these cars, these houses, this thing that we call tangible things that we work so hard for, our boats, our machineries, our housing, all of that, it's temporary. And it's great to have. It's amazing to have. But understand that does not define you. That does not define you. That does not mean that you are successful or not successful. But some of the things that I want to share with you is you are more than just this stuff. This stuff is your excretions of your labor. When you work out, you sweat. That's what this stuff is. When you eat, you poop. That's what this stuff is. When you drink water, you urinate. That's what this stuff is. It's nothing more, it's nothing less. But understand that the same thing that it took for you to get it, you can get it again. Because the fact of that you obtain it means that you can get it again. But the difference is between this time and the next time, you're going to decide how much labor, how much time, how much effort do I want to put into obtaining it again. Because in life, when we don't have something and we want something, we put a lot of energy and time into it. But a lot of times when we get it, we obtain it, and we lose it, we start to see the value of our time and our work and our sweat. Everything is so temporary, it's so delicate. Gather your family, and I'm not talking about just blood, gather your tribe or family, whatever you want to call it. Remember that you may lose pictures, you may lose uh, tangible goods that somebody handed down to you in a storm, but you never lose that mental image. You never lose that memory. That's why time is so critical, that you focus on making sure, in spite of the storm, in spite of what you're going through, in spite of losing everything, take the time to take in positivity. And I know it's easy to say, but I'm not talking about something that I've wanted to go through, something I read about. I'm talking about things that I've gone through. Losing everything been such a blessing to me in so many ways, because it really taught me the perspective of stuff. As the storm approached, and it was looking like it was pretty much headed directly in our position multiple times. In the state of Florida, we had storms, at least 3, to be headed directly in the path of where I am within a year span of time. And every single time, emotionally, psychologically, I expected to lose everything. That comes with stress. That comes with anxiety. But over a period of time, you learn to build somewhat of a shell or a scab, to the part where you be like, when you're building and you're making stuff, once you lost everything, you always subconsciously say, I could lose this at any time. And then it leaves you with the point where you understand that how much time and how much energy do I want to spend into this stuff versus my relationships, my family, my spiritual connection with the Most High, focusing on my purpose, focus on why I'm here, focusing on what matters. And then you're going to find yourself where you're not going to be so passionate with this stuff. And as this stuff goes wherever it is, wherever it may rest, you're going to find peace in the midst of the storm. So with that said, we're going to go into it. Let me shout out to a couple of people that came in. Rob in the garden, how you doing? Brampton Gardner, how you doing? What's up? Hey, Gigi, how you doing? God bless those families. Let us take this time to truly think about. Let us stop for a minute. Let us put positive energy and positive thoughts, whether you consider those as prayers, whether you consider those as just honoring and respecting. Let us stop for a minute and let's think about the people that's been impacted. Let us think about the people not only just been impacted, but people who have lost loved ones. There are some people that are no longer here with us. And people have been impacted by it. Let us take a moment to just reflect and think and send positive words of encouragement and blessings to them and encourage them to keep holding on. So I'm going to take about 3 seconds to just pause for a minute and let's think about them and let's send some positive energy their way, whether it's through prayers, thoughts, words, or what have you. So, fam, if you're watching this and you've been impacted by the storm, You have survived where others didn't. You have made it through where others haven't. If you are watching this and the storm was headed your way and it took a curve, it took a turn, understand that you're here. Now what? If you wasn't impacted by it and you just observe it from afar, why wasn't you? Why weren't you impacted by it? Or maybe you were. Maybe you was impacted by it from afar. Now what? Every situation that we see in life, everything that we do in life, we need to reflect on it. We need to think about it. We also need to look at our situations and say, what can I gather out of this, not only to help myself, but to help someone else? Family, if you're going through loss of everything and you just listening, you just watching this, my heart goes out to you, but not only my heart, I want to encourage you to look out for opportunities, because God going to bless you with opportunities. One of the first things, especially if you're a provider of your family, you're the sole provider of your family, I'm going to encourage you to humble yourself. Humble yourself to the part where you are receptive to some of those blessings. There are going to be some things in life that you're going to come into where you're not going to ordinarily accept or receive blessings. It could be nonprofit organizations. It could be vouchers. It could be subsidies. It could be loans. Be open, be receptive, because they have entered into your life for a reason. But now use your intellect to understand that rebuilding is a marathon and not a sprint. So is life. Do not make a decision based on impulse, based on convenience. You will have people that will come to you that will give you a pie in the sky as you start to receive funds, as you start to receive grants, loans. You will also get a listing from some of those people that will give you those grants and those loans. Use your mind of discernment. Pretend like you lost nothing. I know it's hard. I can't imagine. But pretend like you lost nothing. But do not put yourself in a situation, your family in a situation where you move based on emotions and frustration. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be aggravated. It's okay to be like, you done everything right. You honored laws. You worked hard. You did this. And this has happened to you. But do not move based on emotions, because there are predators out there that's going to give you everything you want to hear, and they move and they look for storms, just like the Serengeti, just like the swamps, just like the woods. You're going to have some hyenas out there. You're going to have some jackals out there just hanging around. You're going to have some vultures out there. They're just hanging around, that's looking for opportunity to take on. And you're going to see companies that you have known for years still listen to your gut, listen to your conscience. Don't be so rushed to try to restore to the part where you just move on emotion, because greed is something that is real. And in spite of your situation you're going through, there's people out there that's trying to take what you have, even though you lost everything. So don't move so fast that you may make a decision that you might regret, because there are going to be people, just like this storm comes, one thing we know, there's going to be people that's going to take advantage of some of these storm victims. There are going to be people that's going to be looking for self-gain. There are going to be people that's going to promise some things and not going to deliver. So if it sounds too good to be true, it sounds too real to be true, challenge it, question it. If they don't have time to talk to you, they don't have the patience to go through that, and they saying, hey, I got 50 other people, let them go. And you may see some people rebuilding faster than you, but do not let that get you deterred or down. But please take your time and really vet some of these contractors and some of these vendors. Let them do the work, the majority of the work up front. Don't give them all of your funds up front. Don't give them all of your money up front. You may give them something reasonable for as a deposit. Break your projects up into phases and put milestones into the projects. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by that, just in case you don't understand. They may give you a price. Just say a contractor come in and they say, I'm going to give you a price of XYZ. Just say it's $10,000. We're just going to pick a number. And in order for them to get started, they need half up. Try not to do that. Give them a deposit. 25% is respectable. And then break it up into milestone and phases. I know it's going to be hard. You may find customers or you might find vendors that will not play that game. And it's not a game, but it's protecting you and your family. But my problem is if you sprint in the time where you should be running a marathon, you're going to run out of breath. And in the long run, you may come out the box fast. They may start dismantling everything fast and then come to a abrupt stop. I've seen it too many times. If they're going to do what they're going to say they're going to do in the time frame, it should not be unrealistic for you to break everything into milestone into phases. Discuss with them, work with them, and allow them to communicate. I want to pay based on phases. I'm not talking about something where somebody can do in a day. I'm talking about when we're talking about rebuilding your home, rebuilding some long-term where it may take months or even a year to do projects. I'm talking about long-term projects. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be taken advantage of, and you're going to be left holding the bag. And I don't want you to be one of them. Another thing, I get it. Some of you all might not do this or might not do that. If you can, where there's places where they're giving food, resources, utilize those things. Make the best of those things because you want your funds and your revenue to stretch as long, because whether we like it or not, the price of doing business will increase in most cases. Something that a project may have cost you $1,000, $2,000 now will become $5,000 and $6,000. So that's why I say be patient. Take your time and understand that if you can, being humble means that you accepting some things that you wouldn't ordinarily accept from nonprofit, from other federal, because I've watched some of my neighbors. I don't take nothing from the government. I don't do this, I don't do that. This is a disaster. This is about surviving. This is about thriving in spite of your loss. This is a chess game, not checkers. That's what I mean by humble yourself, by understanding that I get it. You on an ordinary standard, you would not do this, but right now your family needs you. Your family needs you to make the right decision. They depending on you. They depending on you to move the right way. So utilize your discernment and not your emotions and not your feelings, but truly vet people out. Vet your contractors out. Anything you can do by yourself, do. But if you're not mentally there, don't touch it. Just step away. It's going to be times where you might just go away from that environment. It's okay. You might take your family and just go, and don't feel guilty that you took your family just to go to another city and y'all go into a nice hotel, into a nice environment, and you left everything back at home. Don't feel guilty about that, because your mental health is important. Your family mental health is important. Don't think that your kids are stronger than they are. They've lost everything. Everything they've known, they lost everything. Take the time to step away from it all, to get away from it all. Take the time to let your family process it. Just because you might be okay don't mean your family is okay. Listen, pay attention to your family. Watch them. If they're crying for no reason, there's resources out there. Learn your resources. Communicate. Be patient. It's going to be times you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be aggravated. Be patient through this process. Don't say the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't react the first way that comes to your mind. There are going to be people that's going to be looting, going stealing. It's stuff. As I said in the beginning, it comes and it goes. Do not risk yourself for this stuff. Do not put yourself where you can't be a benefit to your family long term because of stuff. It comes and it goes. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Hey, what's up, B Rich? Thank you so much, man. Yeah, AB, people prey on the vulnerable. And I just want people to just pay attention, y'all, because this is the good and the bad of those situations. And if you get so connected with stuff that you camping out and you stand here and y'all ain't prepared and you're not ready, and you got movement of people moving around looking for opportunities, be careful, y'all. Be careful, because remember, as I said before, just like you obtain these things, you can get them again. It may take a period of time, but this is the thing. When you attain them again, you will attain them in a different mindset, and you attain it on another level of abundance. It will happen. I know it may not seem like it'll happen, but it will happen. What's up, Vision? Definitely. Please send prayers out to everyone. But fam, I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to don't give up. Don't be so bad that you're distressed in this time. Don't be so frustrated and give up on people in this world. But be vigilant. Be aware of your surroundings. And understand that this stuff is just stuff. Focus on you, your family, and those that's close to you. Make sure that you don't feel guilty because you're having a cookout over y'all all over one family house and y'all having to get together. Take the time to use this bonding time to cultivate love, to cultivate togetherness, to cultivate cohesiveness. Put all your anger, frustration to the side, and use this time to build memories, because at the end of the day, when this stuff goes and it comes, I can still drive my first car. I can still ride my first bike. I can still smell my first flower. I can still taste my great-grandmother's lemon cheesecake. I might not can physically touch it and see it, but I can still mentally taste it and mentally see it. So use this time that is so precious for healing, for rebuilding, and moving away, that you're not pressured to quickly try to mend things. Let the infrastructure, let the utilities get put back in place. Let the road get cleaned up. Work within your parameter. And understand there's things in life that you can't control. And control what you think you can control. to your best of your ability. And understand that you are enough and you're strong enough to push through. And there's a lot of different things that are going to happen. Go ahead and take the time to communicate with your job, communicate with the Social Security office, communicate with the health department, communicate with your local disaster, communicate with the Red Cross, with religious organizations in your area. Utilize your library. You done paid for all these resources. Check with the Small Business Development Center in your local area. I'm going to say it one more again. Check with the Small Business Development Center in your area, or the SBA, the Small Business Administrator. You might not think that it has anything. You might not own a business, but they are a catalyst to distribute federal funding, federal lending. Some people, they don't think about that. And I'm talking about just for business, but also for your personal residency as well. Just pay attention and understand that some things happen to good people, but so is life. And the fact that you survived, you're strong enough. And I hope that life finds you well, and I hope that tomorrow will overshadow what is happening today. And I hope that tomorrow will be so great that it'll make you gracious for today. So y'all be well, be blessed. And whatever you do, don't forget to keep on growing. Grow. Y'all take care. Stay well. Stay blessed. Till next time. Y'all take care.